Hello friends, welcome to Trick. Since you all wanted me to make a video on anti-defection law, so here it is. We will try to understand anti-defection law since it is in news and question may come from this topic. Anti-defection law was made after 52nd Amendment in 1985 by Rajiv Gandhi government and was put under a new schedule, 10th schedule. It deals with the disqualification of members. There are different criterias for different kinds of members. There are independent members, nominated members, and members from a party. For independent members, the rule is very biased. They cannot join any party after election. If they join any party after election, they will be disqualified. For nominated members, the rules are somewhat benign. They can join a party, but this they have to do within 6 months. If they join a party after 6 months, they will be disqualified. While for those who are elected from the ticket of a political party, they will have to remain loyal to the party and will have to vote according to the party whip, according to the direction of party, else they will be disqualified. Even if they abstain from voting after the party whip has been issued, then also they can be disqualified. And when they vote against the direction of the party and this voting has not been condoned by the party within 15 days, condoned means not accepted. If party does not accept their defiance, then they can be disqualified once a petition is submitted to the speaker. However, there is some exception. If merger of a political party takes place and it is agreed upon by two-third members, then no disqualification takes place. Earlier, the rule was if a political party splits or merges and one third of the member agrees, then disqualification of the members did not take place. However, after 91st Amendment Act, this rule has been changed and from one third it has been increased to two-third members. And if any member does not want to join the new party and remains in the old one, then also that member is not disqualified. Exemption is also for speaker, deputy speaker, and chairman and deputy chairman who can leave their party once they become the speaker or chairman, and disqualification will not take place. Under the Anti Defection Act, the rules are made by speaker or chairman and it is laid before the house and house can approve or disapprove it. And in this, presiding officer is the final authority who decides on the question of disqualification. And when there is question of disqualification of the presiding officer himself, if it is about speaker or chairman, then a member chosen by the house decides on the case. There are certain advantages as well as disadvantages also. What are the advantages? It provides stability to the government by preventing shifts of party allegiance, ensures that candidates elected with party support and on the basis of party manifestos remain loyal to the party policies, and third, it also promotes party discipline. What are the disadvantages? It interferes with the members' freedom of speech and expression by curbing dissent against party policies. One cannot speak his or her mind and will have to always follow the party directions. In a way, therefore, it curbs the members' freedom of speech and expression. By preventing parliamentarians from changing parties, it reduces the accountability of the government to the parliament and the people. Because if the members are not allowed to dissent, not allowed to speak their mind, and they are always required to give the support to the government and not present the views of their constituencies, then the government will become complacent and it will reduce the accountability of the government. Now, this Anti Defection Act has raised certain questions which are finally decided by the courts. What are these questions? These questions are important because often questions can be formed from the interpretation of this act. First, whether the right to freedom of speech and expression is curtailed by the 10th schedule, the court has upheld no. This Anti Defection Act does not curb the freedom of speech, does not curb the conscience of the member, and it has been upheld in the Kyoto Holohan case. Next question is whether only resignation constitutes voluntarily giving up membership of a political party. When a member gives up his membership voluntarily, then he or she is disqualified under Anti-Defection Act. But what does this voluntarily giving up membership means? Does it mean only resignation? Then court has said no. Voluntarily giving up has a wider connotation, wider meaning. Your action also mean giving up membership. For example, if you act against the party interests, if you write to the governor to invite the members of the opposition to form the government, this constitute the action going against the party interest and hence voluntarily giving up membership of a political party. This has been upheld in Ravi S. Naik versus Union of India. Third question is whether a member can be said to voluntarily giving up his membership of a party if he joins another party after being expelled by his old political party. The court has upheld yes. This is a technical question. When a member is expelled from a party, he or she becomes an unattached member but remains the member of that political party, and hence technically when he or she joins another party, then he or she becomes the subject to be disqualified under the Anti-Defection Act, and this has been upheld in the Vishwanathan versus Speaker in Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly case. Fourth question is whether paragraph 7 of the schedule barring the jurisdiction of courts in cases of disqualification is constitutional. In the Anti-Defection Act, earlier it was mentioned that the Speaker's decision would be final, and Speaker's decision in case of Anti-Defection Act would be final and would not be subject to judicial review. However, the court has upheld that it amounts to changing the power of the courts, which requires the ratification of at least half of the states. We know that reducing the powers of high courts or supreme courts requires the ratification of half of the states because it is a federal provision. Therefore, this part of the act is unconstitutional, hence has been struck down by the court in Kyoto Holohan case. The next question is whether paragraph 6 of the 10th schedule granting finality to the decision of the speaker chairman is valid. Then court has said yes. And why? According to it, the extent to which the finality of decision is concerned, then the law is valid, the law is constitutional. The power of judicial review of the court comes only after decision has been taken. Then another question is whether a speaker can review his own decision to disqualify a member under the 10th schedule. No, it cannot review its own decision. This power has not been given under the act. It has not been mentioned in anywhere in the act. Another important question is whether the speaker of a legislature is bound by the direction of a court. Yes. Why? Because the speaker passes a decision, he or she acts like a tribunal, therefore is bound by the directions of a court. Then whether judicial review by courts extends to rules framed under the 10th schedule. Rules are framed by the speaker or chairman, and according to the court, the rules are procedural in nature, and any irregularity in the rules are procedural irregularity, and therefore judicial review does not apply to them. When can a court review the speaker's decision making process under the 10th schedule? If the speaker fails to act on the complaint or accepts the split or merger without finding the fact, then it amounts to failure of the duty of the speaker, and hence the act becomes unconstitutional, and therefore then at that point of time the court can review the speaker's decision making process. So these are the questions involving the Anti-Defection Act, which has been cleared by the Supreme Court. Now there are certain recommendations also made by different committees and commissions. This part of the topic is very important because when you write a subjective answer, you need to mention the recommendations made as well as your own view. Only if you know what are the recommendations made by these committees, you can mention your own views. So first, Dinesh Goswami Committee on Electoral Reform suggests that disqualification should be limited to cases where a member voluntarily gives up the membership of his political party, and second, a member abstains from voting or votes contrary to the party whip in a motion of vote of confidence or motion of no confidence. Dinesh Goswami Committee suggests that disqualification only should take place when the question is regarding the destabilization of the government, means when vote of confidence or vote of no confidence is taking place, then only voting against the party direction should amount to disqualification. It also suggests that issue of disqualification should be decided by the president or governor on the advice of the election commission, because sometime neutrality of the speaker can be questioned, as recently in the Uttarakhand constitutional crisis case, on which I have already made a video. The speaker's decision to disqualify 9 MLAs have been questioned, that the speaker has tried to turn the minority in the majority. Therefore, this Dinesh Goswami's recommendation that the disqualification should be decided by the president or governor on the advice of the election commission, as it happens in the cases involving the office of prophet. Then there was Halim Committee on Anti-Defection Law. It suggests that the voluntarily giving up membership of a political party should be clearly defined, as it is a very ambiguous term, and there should be restrictions like prohibition on joining another party or holding offices in the government on the expelled members, and the term political party should also be defined clearly. The term political party has not been defined anywhere, and therefore it should be defined clearly to remove any kind of confusion. The Law Commission 170th report presented in 1999 has suggested some reforms. First, provisions which exempt splits and mergers from disqualifications to be deleted, and after that only the exemptions which was made on 1/3 was increased to 2/3 in the 91st Amendment. Second, pre-poll electoral fronts should be treated as political parties under anti-defection law. What is pre-poll electoral fronts? The parties come together to fight elections. For example, in Tamil Nadu, Congress and DMK has formed a front to fight the elections together. Then, according to the Law Commission, it should be treated as a political party under anti-defection law. Third, political parties should limit issuance of whips to instances only when the government is in danger. The same recommendation made by the Dinesh Goswami committee also, that only when no confidence motion is taking place, then only party should issue whips. What are the whips? I have been using this term but did not explain it. Whip is the party direction given to the members on the issue of voting on how they should vote, and the members required to follow this whip. Election Commission has also suggested that decisions under the 10th schedule should be made by the president governor on the binding advice of the Election Commission. Then the suggestions are made by the Constitutional Review Commission, the Venkatacharya Commission in 2002. He has suggested that defectors should be barred from holding public office or any remunerative political post for the duration of the remaining term. In a way, this committee suggested imposing extra penalties on the defecting members apart from the disqualification. And second suggestion was that the vote cast by a defector to topple a government should be treated as invalid. So these are the suggestions made by different committee and commissions. This topic is important for both prelims as well as mains GS paper 2 polity. In the view of recent happenings in different states, this topic has become important for both prelims and mains. I hope this video will help you. Please give me your feedbacks and suggestions if you want me to make more such videos. You can like our Facebook page www.facebook.com/trick.exam.in. Like this video and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Have a nice day.